Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday. It is November 15th. I'm Michael Taylor. Thanks for joining us. We got through yet another week. We're halfway through the month of November. Thanksgiving's just 2 weeks away. Can you believe it? Black Friday, the shopping, family, all that chaos is coming your way. All right, but on our show today, let me see if I can step the right way. Yesterday, if you were watching, I stepped the wrong way. Nailed it. All right, Mint Insurance is going to be here. It is open enrollment time. They're going to talk about what you need to take a look at in your insurance plan to make sure that you have the right one, or maybe you want to make some changes. They'll talk about those things as well. Sports Corner, Cole Young, that's always a great one. We'll preview this weekend, talk about some other sports that happened this week. Looking forward to a lot of football this weekend, a lot of great games that are on the schedule. And I know Cole will be talking about that and more. Right now, we want to talk to you about a survey that's going on right here in the community that's going to be open. Tell us how VMS is doing. They have a resident satisfaction survey out there, and they want to hear from you. It's a really great way for VMS to be able to assess the services they're providing, how they're resonating with residents, and what changes they may need to make things more efficient and work well for everybody. So make sure you get online and take that survey, or you can pick up a hard copy of that survey as well over at the community center. So please make sure you turn them in by November 30th. That's when the survey is due, and they'll take that information and the VMS will work with it from there. Hey, let's take a look outside at our weather forecast, and we got some partly cloudy skies, and we're going to have some partly cloudy going on with a light chance of rain in the forecast as well for this weekend, so look out for that. Then as we get into the week, we're going to have cooler temperatures, but Santa Ana wind conditions are going to be blowing around. Usually after we get like a front move through, we get those Santa Anas on the tail end, so make sure that you batten down the hatches around your house, the umbrellas are in and things like that, because things are going to get blown around for a little while as temperatures go up by Tuesday as the Santa Anas start to kick in. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset. We got a beautiful picture here from Bree. She left this one with us when she was over in Telluride. Nice beautiful sunset over there. Look at those fall colors, really gorgeous. Sunrise this morning was 6:23. Sunset tonight is going to be 4:47. If you'd like to send us a picture just like Bree did, you can do that. We love sunrise shots. We love sunset shots. We love pictures of your pets, places around the village, or your vacation spots. We'll take them all. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will put it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we got one meeting to tell you about, and then when we come back, we'll be talking to the folks from Mint Insurance Agency. Stay with us.
Tickets are on sale now for Feeling Good, a tribute to Michael Bublé and a very Bublé Christmas, performed by Anthony Bernasconi with 4 backup singers and a 14-piece band, live on December 7th at the Performing Arts Center at 7:30 p.m., presented by the California Club. Tickets can be purchased at the PAC box office or at www.californiaclublwv.com. Questions? Call the PAC at 949-597-4289.
Did you know plans change each year? So can your health and prescription needs. Our licensed insurance agents can easily compare your options, and you'll see the real difference. Find a plan that offers you more and covers your prescriptions. Call us at 1-888-225-6468 for a free telephonic, virtual, or in-person appointment. Annual election period ends December 7th.
There is still time to ensure that you choose the plan that will cover your prescription medications for the next year and offer you the highest amount of benefits possible. Here to tell us more is Agency Principal Miriam Ramos with Mint Insurance Agency. Welcome to the show, Miriam.
It's so glad to be back. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're back. We need to continue to remind folks about the Medicare enrollment, and when that time period is over, we need to get them thinking about this very important topic.
Absolutely. It's time, as you mentioned, it's a reminder. The annual enrollment period is still going on. It ends December 7th.
Okay.
So it's time that we refocus. You know, I know we've all been so wrapped up with elections, but we have a very important election, and that's your Medicare election period.
There you go.
December 7th.
Yes. Okay, well, put that on your calendar, folks, and try to get this wrapped up before then so you're not at the finish line wondering what to do. So we're going to go in depth a little bit more here with Miriam. What are the things to look out for when folks are comparing their plans?
Things to look out for are truly your prescription benefit, right? That's something you don't want to be surprised with. We talked about it on the previous interview, and I know health plans are also sharing with you. They've sent the annual notification of changes. So it's important to not only look at what benefits have changed, but also your prescriptions. Will they be covered? Will your health plan have a deductible on those prescriptions? Or a co-insurance, which is a percentage versus a copay? Those are very important things. We want to make sure that you sit with us and we discuss, and that way you'll have peace of mind and not worry about it, not be surprised when you go pick up your prescriptions come January.
Yeah, and then it's too late and there's nothing that they can do about it, right?
Well, no, if you don't make a change during the annual enrollment period, which once again ends December 7th, then you're subject to the health plan you were presently on during the 2024 year, unless there are any special election periods that may apply to you. And you can always give us a call and we can talk about those things, but this is truly the moment for everybody to come out and shop.
Okay. Okay. So what changes, do you see any changes in the beginning of 2025? Any type of changes that are happening in 2025 in terms of prescriptions or healthcare or insurances?
Absolutely.
I mean, what's happening? We've just had a presidential election. What's changing? How is that influencing? Do we know yet?
Quite frankly, a lot of people do have that misconception, right? And they hold off on making any changes on their Medicare options until after elections. But Medicare benefits have already been set. So for 2025, whatever we sit down today or during this period and talk about are the benefits that you will have for 2025. It is not based on who won elections. It's truly based on what's already been approved by the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services, based on the health plan you currently have or that you are shopping for.
Right. And you're helping clients shop for the best plan available that's right for them.
Yes.
But what happens if they get themselves into a plan that they just really don't like?
Well, one of the benefits, as we talked about last time, there is this Medicare enrollment period that we're currently on. It ends December 7th. If during this time you make a change, come January 1st through March 31st, if you didn't like the plan you chose, Medicare Advantage-wise, you can still give us a call and we can help you change back to the plan you were previously on, or maybe a plan that you found in the meantime. So you do have that option if you make a change during the annual enrollment period. If you don't make any changes today, by December 7th, then you're stuck on your plan technically, unless there are any special election periods that we can sit down and talk about. But we really encourage you.
That doesn't sound like something that folks should count on.
No,
choose
because
wisely
you just never know.
to begin with. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is the difference between a Medicare Advantage plan and Medicare Supplement policy?
So your Medicare Advantage plans, first and foremost, right, you must have Medicare Part A and Part B to be able to qualify for a Medicare Advantage plan, which is also known as Medicare Part C, and it includes Medicare Part D for prescription drugs.
Okay.
So Medicare Advantage is technically like a bundle, right? Most of the times, based on the zip code, there is no monthly premium for these plans. Medicare supplements, also known as Medigap policies, right? Some people talk about, can I get on a supplement or a Medigap? Well, these do have qualifications like health underwriting, right? They do have additional premiums that can be quite costly based on gender, zip code, age, whether or not the person, has a history or smoking. And like I said, those health underwriting questions. So if you choose to go with a Medicare supplement option, not only will you pay the Medicare supplements premium, but you must also purchase a prescription drug policy, whether or not you take prescriptions.
Oh my goodness.
And on top of that, you must also pay for your Medicare Part B premium. So, what are the benefits of a Medicare supplement? Technically, it's the freedom of not having networks, of technically not waiting for referrals or authorizations. But that freedom comes with that cost, right?
Right.
That's your Medicare supplement. Medicare Advantage is pretty popular and very commonly known for the fact that you must choose a primary care. These primary care physicians usually belong to a network. Some of the networks here presently are Optum, Regal, Lakeside, Memorial Care. So you must choose a primary care physician. The Medicare Advantage plan more than likely will not have a premium, but you must go to your primary care doctor. Your doctor will then provide you with a referral or an authorization to go visit a specialist in the network. So it's a network-based, right, versus a Medicare supplement where you're paying all these premiums, technically allows you to go anywhere and everywhere across the country where Medicare is accepted.
Oh my goodness. So if people have questions throughout the year, the year, as it relates to everything that you've just explained, which quite frankly is completely overwhelming.
I know.
Can they call you and get clarification?
Anytime. We are open Monday through Saturday during this super busy time of the year. We actually even take calls on Sundays. But during the year, Monday through Saturday, normal business hours, 9 a.m., 6 p.m. And it never hurts. If you have a doubt, if you're wondering if there may be an opportunity or a possibility, just give us a call, right? We can answer your questions, not just for enrollment, which we provide at no extra cost, right? We're independent licensed agents. So our services are to meet with you, your viewer, and talk about the different health plan options they have. They may be on Alignment Health Plan, and they might choose to look at their options with United Healthcare, with SCAN, with Blue Shield. The beauty of contacting us is that we can check and compare for them,
Right.
and really identify the plan that's going to fit best. And once again, it ends December 7th, so please take advantage of it. Our consultations are completely free.
Completely free.
In home, we can gather at the viewer's home, at a local shop, maybe here at the center, or even telephonically, the comfort of their home.
And Miriam, tell me, is there any penalties for someone if they don't make any changes?
No penalties. So if they choose to stay where they're at, perfectly fine. If they're already on a Medicare Advantage, on a supplement, or on a straight prescription drug plan with original Medicare, there will be no penalties. It's just the fact that they won't have that access to make changes come the new year.
And are there new enrollment penalties at all?
So folks that really want to make sure they're aware of enrollments and periods and penalties are those turning 65 soon. They do have, and that's the late enrollment penalty, a 7-month window. So 3 months prior to their 65th birthday, their birth month, and up to 3 months after.
Okay.
This is a 7-month window they have to either choose a Medicare Advantage plan, known as Part C, which includes Part D for prescription drugs, or stay on original Medicare and purchase a prescription drug plan, whether or not they take prescriptions. Or last but not least, if they choose to go with a Medicare supplement, it will have a premium, purchase a prescription drug policy, which will also have a premium, and pay for their Medicare Part B, which also has a premium. So there's many options.
Right.
The penalty only goes if you don't have credible coverage past that 7-month window.
Okay.
So if they're still working and they wish to continue their employer coverage, as long as they have proof, that's fine. And that's a whole different subject. And we can have a whole show on employer coverage.
Well, let's have you back on that.
Sounds great.
Miriam, you've given us a lot of information here. We're going to try to digest it a little bit, and then we're going to have you back on the show.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
coming.
My pleasure.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be right back.
Celebrating 65. Exciting until you wonder, should I apply for Medicare? If so, how? But I'm still working. What is Medicare Part A, Part B, C, D? Are there penalties involved? We make it easier for you. We discuss the pros, cons, and myths. Call 1-888-225-6468. We help you understand, enroll, and use your benefits so you can go back to doing the things you love.
Happy Friday and welcome back to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young and I'll jump right in. Last week, I mentioned that week 10 of the NFL was a little on the boring side. Week 11 made up for it though, with upsets, last-second wins, and the flair and drama that football fans love to see. The excitement started off last Thursday when we had an absolute shootout between two heated rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Jamar Chase led the way for Cincinnati, finishing his night with 11 catches for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a 5-yarder in the final minute to bring the Bengals within 1 point. But 3 fourth-quarter touchdown passes from Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson and a failed 2-point conversion by the Bengals were too much for Cincy to overcome, and the Ravens held on to win 35-34. Here's a sentence I didn't think I would say this NFL season, or the last one, or even next one. The Carolina Panthers are on a 2-game winning streak after picking up an overtime win over the Giants on Sunday after the game-winning field goal. Speaking of game-winning field goals, the Denver Broncos were in prime position to upset the Kansas City Chiefs and hand them their first loss of the season. With 1 second on the clock, Broncos kicker Will Lutz set up to kick the game-winning field goal. The Chiefs' defensive line bullied through the Denver front line, blocked the kick, and somehow continued their undefeated season. Almost the exact same scenario happened in the 49ers-Buccaneers matchup, but San Francisco kicker Jake Moody redeemed himself on a day where he missed 3 field goals as he hit the one that mattered most, the game winner. And lastly, in a game where Jared Goff threw a whopping 5 interceptions on Sunday night, the #1 overall Detroit Lions still managed to find a way to win over the Texans and improve to 8-1. With 10 out of 18 weeks down, the playoffs are slowly coming up on the horizon. Every win and loss is crucial, and I expect we'll see a few teams mathematically eliminated from playoff contention in the coming weeks. The playoff picture hasn't changed all that much, except for the Commanders dropping a few spots after their last-second loss to the Steelers. Luckily, I didn't pick the Commanders last week, but I did pick the Bears, who had a rough game and were upset by the Patriots. That was my only loss of the week, though, bringing me to 24-8 on the season. This was also my 100th career win in the few years of doing these picks. Hopefully, I can make it to 104 this week. For week 11, I'll go with the Miami Dolphins over the Raiders, the Vikings over the Titans, the Houston Texans to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, and the Packers to roll past their division rival Bears. Speaking of the Dolphins, they saved the state of Florida from a tragic sports weekend when they beat the Rams on Monday night. Heading into that game, the state of Florida was 0-11 in football. Over the weekend in the FBS, FAU, Florida, Miami, FSU, USF, and UCF all lost. In the FCS, FAMU, Bethune, and Stetson all lost. And in the NFL on Sunday, the Jaguars and the Buccaneers lost. Luckily, like I said, the Dolphins saved the state from a completely winless weekend. Like I said, the University of Miami was upset this week by Georgia Tech. The Hurricanes entered this game as the #4 team in the country and were looking at a playoff run. However, this loss bumped them down to #9. The other major upset of the week was another top 5 team being knocked down the ladder. The red-hot number 16 Ole Miss hosted the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs on Saturday, and Ole Miss defended their home turf, walking away with a 28-10 win. Ole Miss jumped up to the number 11 seed, while Georgia fell all the way down to 12, on the cusp of not even making the playoffs at all. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State make up the current top 4. Georgia will look to bounce back this week and get one step closer to the playoffs, but in their way stands number 7 Tennessee. This game will kick off in Athens, Georgia, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. on ABC. Like I said last week, every single game counts from here on out, so teams need to scratch and claw for their wins and earn their spots in the postseason. Possibly the biggest events of this weekend are both combat sports. For the first time since June of 2005, Iron Mike Tyson is returning to the boxing ring for a sanctioned fight. Tyson will fight Jake Paul in an 8-round heavyweight bout tonight at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This fight will be streamed on Netflix at 5 p.m., so if you already have a Netflix subscription, it'll be free and available in a few short hours. The last time the 58-year-old Mike Tyson fought in an official bout, he suffered a 6th-round TKO to Kevin McBride. Mike Tyson's heavyweight championship reign began when he won the WBC title over Trevor Berbick back in November of 1986. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that he was one of the most dominant and feared boxers in all of history. After that first title, for the next 3+ years, Tyson earned a record of 10-0 with 9 knockouts and unified all the title belts and became the undisputed champion. He landed 16.3 of 34.5 punches per round, which is 47.2%, nearly 15% higher than the heavyweight division average. Throughout his career, Tyson went 50-6 with a terrifying 44 knockouts. His opponent is Jake Paul, a former YouTube star that turned to professional boxing. He currently has a 10-1 record with 7 knockouts, although it's worth noting that most of his opponents have been other YouTube stars mixed in with a few former UFC fighters. However, Jake Paul is just 27 years old. To have a better sense of the age difference, when Paul was born in January of 1997, Tyson was already a 30-year-old champion with a record of 45-2 and 39 knockouts. There are a few stipulations that are slightly different than a regular heavyweight match, though. Their fight will be contested with 2-minute rounds and with 14-ounce gloves. Heavyweight boxing matches are regularly contested at 3-minute rounds with 10-ounce gloves. Regardless of the stipulations or even the outcome, it'll be incredible to watch Mike Tyson fight in the ring yet again. Reminder, this fight is tonight at 5 p.m. on Netflix. The other combat sport, the UFC, is back this weekend with a massive event. That fight card, UFC 309, takes place tomorrow. The pay-per-view event is headlined by a matchup between current UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones and former 2-time UFC heavyweight title holder Stipe Miocic. The evening's co-main event is the rematch between former UFC lightweight champion Charles Oliveira and 3-time Bellator champ Michael Chandler. Before those two matchups take place, UFC middleweight contender Bo Nickel looks to continue his charge up the rankings against veteran UFC competitor Paul Craig. UFC 309 takes place at Madison Square Garden in New York City tomorrow, with the prelims starting at 7 p.m. The pay-per-view card streams on ESPN+. The second annual NBA in-season tournament tipped off on Tuesday this week. If you forgot about this still brand new tournament, don't worry, you're not alone. As a reminder, the Los Angeles Lakers took home the first ever championship cup last season. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has had a long-standing fascination with European soccer. The idea for having an in-season cup competition within the NBA schedule comes from soccer leagues having both a regular season title, which is won by the team with the most points over the full year, and a separate tournament, or in some leagues, multiple tournaments, that run concurrently with the league season. Anyway, for the NBA, the 30 teams were split into 6 5-team groups, 3 featuring Eastern Conference teams, and 3 comprising teams from the West, with each team then playing 1 game against the other 4 in their group. Games will be played on Tuesdays and Fridays. The winner of each group, plus the team with the best record among the non-group winners, will then advance to the knockout rounds. From there, it's a basic single elimination tournament format. The knockout rounds will begin on Tuesday, December 10th, with the championship game on Tuesday, December 17th. So be sure to tune in for games tonight, as well as on Tuesday, to see which teams will continue to advance throughout the tournament. So, with all of that said, we've got NFL, college football, boxing, UFC, NBA tournaments, NHL, college basketball, and so much more to enjoy this weekend. Be sure to tune in to as much as you can throughout the weekend, and come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights. Thank you as always for tuning in. I'm Cole Young, and we'll see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Something is happening tonight at the Barclay. The Barclay in Irvine. Live entertainment, you don't want to miss it. Tonight at the Barclay. Cue the lights, take your seat, and it's right down the street at the Barclay.
Do you suffer from low back pain? Hoag Orthopedic Institute is the #1 provider of orthopedic and spine care in Orange County. Our Back to You program is a unique, non-operative, evidence-based approach to treating low back pain. Our spine strengthening program combines physical therapy with education on pain and nutrition. Let Hoag Orthopedic Institute's Back to You program get you back to doing what you love. For more information, visit hoiexperts.com/spine or call 855-999-4641 to find a doctor.
All right, folks, let's take our movies in for this weekend. We got a great one for today. It is a Woody Allen film. It stars Woody, of course, and Diane Keaton. It's called Manhattan Murder Mysteries, brought to us by RadNet. Going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Middle-aged New York married couple Larry and Carol Lipton suspect foul play when their neighbor suddenly drops dead. It is a dark comedy, as many Woody Allen films are, and I hope you enjoy that one. It's a classic back from the 70s or early 80s, something like that. And anyway, it's a good one. Enjoy that one. Then on Saturday, we have An Unfinished Life. It stars Robert Redford, and it is brought to us by Providence. It's going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Desperate to provide care for her daughter, down on her luck, woman moves in with her father-in-law, whom she is estranged from. Through time, they learn to forgive each other and heal old wounds. So it's a good family kind of movie. You could feel good at the end of that one. Should be going. Morgan Freeman's also in that one, so look forward to that one on Saturday. Let's take a quick check of our weather, and we have some cooler temperatures in the forecast, a slight chance for rain this weekend, and then we have some Santa Ana winds coming up later the beginning towards next week. So we got 60s over the whole rest of the weekend, and then we bump up on Monday, Tuesday. That's when the Santa Anas are going to start kicking in, and temperatures going up, winds going up, so just be careful around those Santa Anas. There's no fun. Batten down the hatches around the house. Make sure the umbrellas and the lawn chairs are secured, because it's going to get a little windy next week. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Tomorrow on the program, we're going to welcome Band X and Nederlander Concerts. Vicki Lawrence, remember from the Carol Burnett Show and Mama's House. She's going to be on talking to Bree about her upcoming performance up in LA, so don't want to miss that one as well. I hope you all had a great show. We had a great show here. We hope you enjoyed it. For all of us here at This Day, we hope you make this one a great one.